Hello, everybody. Maris Rey, Water Dragon Extraordinaire, back at you again with another Genshin Impact live stream. Today we're just doing simple dailies, as you probably already figured, based off the title. Well, I guess the title doesn't really tell you that, but I mean, I guess based on the week in general, there's not really anything else going on. We've done most of the content, of course, that we could do. In fact, my resin's not even all the way recovered yet. Sheesh. Would you look at that? Well, nothing we could do but just jump right into it, huh? All I could really do is do more Emblem of Severed Fate domains. Don't really have anything else available to do, I guess. Yeah, it seems like it's as good as it's really gonna get. So, I finally installed the new fan today, and my temperatures are looking a bit better. The thing is the idle temperatures are not that much cooler, but they're still, you know, noticeably cooler. Where I was idling from like 55 to almost 60, I'm now idling from like 45 to 50. But most importantly, the load times is what got a lot better. So, during the load before, I would see anywhere between like 75 to 85. Right now, mid-stream, Spotify, webcam, everything up, everything running, I'm only at 65 degrees right now, which is insane, is it not? That's like really, really good. Thoroughly impressed with this situation. It was a real pain to install this cooler though. A real pain. I almost couldn't do it. I'm still not certain that I did it right. Like, at any moment, my CPU could definitely just, or the cooler could almost just come off. An easy first run. I'm going to slightly farm this for content by not using condensed resins today. Oh no.
Stabilize.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Let me scribe. Decided by destiny. Embrace the ice. Whirling snow. Take flight.
Oh man. Oh. I ate an airhead and it's so sweet. It's so sweet. It was overwhelmingly sweet. Need water. Never forget to hydrate yourself. It's essential to your good health.
Stabilize.
Gotcha. Shadows of fate. Here comes the cash. Written in
I
the
blew
snow.
that one.
Kami-santo out. Sumetsu.
Written in the stars.
Crumble.
Quietly now.
Let me scry. My opponent.
Written in the stars. I love my Genshin account. Ooh. Keepable. I'm not locked in, but it's keepable. I could actually work with that one. We can actually work with that.
Stabilize.
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Delve into destiny. Decided by destiny. Embrace the ice.
Embrace the ice.
Quietly.
Whirling shadows of fate.
Place the lines. It's pretty good, I've gotta say. This is quite a fast clear. The fastest I've ever did. Not good. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. Watch me scry.
Delve into destiny. Written in the stars. Kami-sato.
Written in the stars.
Crumble.
Shadows of fate.
Oh, it's totally burning. I almost ran off the map. Still not a good artifact. I wonder how many days we're gonna have to do this until we can get something usable for Zhongli. I guess technically I'm still looking for pieces for Mona, aren't I? Which I guess is the ultimate sad.
Busted. Here comes the cash.
Delve into destiny. Fate is upon you. Embrace the ice. My apologies.
Rise.
Shadows of fate.
Shadows of Fate. Go. With this team, I consistently get below minute runs. Listen. Defense. What is this? I need crit damage. How could I still not be getting crit damage? Ay, ay, ay. I need energy recharge sands, and I need crit damage circlets. Is that so hard to get? Evidently it is.
Quietly now. Things are about to get.
Let me scry. Written in the stars. Kami-sato art. Sometsu. Take flight.
Quake.
Whirling snow. Shadows of fate. Take flight.
Guess it wasn't that much faster. I was trying to see if I could use Mona's extra clone to see if maybe that will spice it up and do more damage, but it didn't really do that much. Oh man, defenses, you're really killing me here. You're really killing me. Now let me heal up my units here. I guess it's kind of a shame that I already did this, huh? I know it's only 35 instead of 36, but... Whew. Yeesh. Oh, nothing else to do but just do the commissions. I'm resinless. And... don't have any other content to make out of Genshin Impact. All we could do is do the Genshin dailies, commissions, spend your resin, that type of stuff, and that's it. That's all you got. Like, I don't immediately have a problem with that either. I think it's totally fine. I mean, I know it's like up for debate whether how people feel about there being like a rework to the resin system, like perhaps. I know it's not unheard of for people to suggest the idea that they might like something. Oh man, Venti doesn't even have this ultimate.
Rest and rebuild. Time for takeoff.
But people like to talk about using like no resin when you're doing artifact domains. That way you could just farm artifact domains forever. Which I don't think is a terrible system because, you know, you just stop when you stop having fun, right? You just, when you don't feel like doing it anymore, you could just stop. And that way the game's totally in your hands, you know? It's like no longer has anything to do with like some underlying factors, like, because, you know, it feels worse if somebody else gets luckier than me and gets like a full set of artifacts before I do and can complete a character before I do because of that. Then I will always feel behind that guy until my luck has changed and I don't need to rely on that anymore.
Illusion shut. Rest and rebuild.
Which I think that's in particular what they're initially trying to avoid having happen, you know? Because people should want to compare themselves to others simply because, you know, that's just the case of how a lot of these game companies want to make money. You have to compare they have to make it easy for you to compare yourself to other people, I guess, is the best way to say it.
Yeah, wouldn't gliding be bad?
Because if it's not easy to compare,
Let's play.
then, or rather, if it's easy to compare yourself to others, then that's gonna make you want what other people have. It's gonna hope to draw that line of thinking out of their player base, which is it's a good tactic, if not a little scummy, but you know, it's not really that bad of a tactic. I could look past it a bit. But again, my big issue is the fact that
Yahoo!
shouldn't the resin system be reworked, because if everybody has artifacts that are pretty good for their characters, then that means the only real way to upgrade from that point on is to get higher ranked or higher quality weapons or constellations. Which shouldn't that push the Genshin Impact agenda to sell characters and weapons? Plus, that would make it particularly good for content creators, because then we can, you know, actually get to making content for longer periods of time, and we can really emphasize things. because of that. Artifact grinding is such a annoying part of the game.
Wouldn't gliding
It's annoying because we're limited.
illusion shattered. Hold the line. Time for takeoff. Brace yourself.
Yeah, because I have to just sit there and accept the fact that if I just get nothing today, then that's it. I just get nothing. That's really annoying to have to just accept that, you know? I'm sure you understand. It's like when I still remember when I first started like actually building towards my characters. I was building up at the time my cleave. So this was like way early into Genshin Impact, you know? And at the time, I might have stripped her of everything she has now, but at the time I was trying to build her with the 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames, or maybe I was even just doing something like this. I don't entirely remember. But I was in the Crimson Witch domain for probably a month of dailies. A month of resin spending, more or less, give or take. And didn't really have anything to show for it. Like, I didn't have any super high quality artifacts. I didn't have any of this or that. And it wasn't like I wasn't, like, trying. There was just nothing else I could do. I just didn't get lucky, you know? That was literally the end of my experience there. I just didn't get lucky. And that's such a shame that that's like how it has to come down to. Like, were you lucky or were you not? Some people might get those perfect artifacts within a week, while I might have to take 2 months to do it. And there's no significant difference as to what they did versus what I did. We did the same amount of domains, they just got lucky and I didn't. It doesn't... That type of system doesn't really make sense to me because it doesn't push the idea that you could, like, monetize it at all or incentivize other players to play more because of it. Because, I mean, it would incentivize them to play more, but they literally can't, right? That's, like, the big issue. It's like, I would have no problem. And I think most people that have the free time to do so wouldn't mind spending, like, a couple hours here and there just doing domains. It's like, you know, maybe they get one decent artifact once every other day. I'm pretty sure people would be happy with that. The problem is you know, as it's been going, as you've been seeing, I could do artifact domains for days in a row before I even see an artifact that has the same main stats that I need. And then, you know, I need so many more stars to align. I need the substats to be usable. And then I want to roll those substats to be something decent to at least have. It's like my standards for crit value is pretty low at this point in time because I just don't have the time to perfect my artifacts. So I don't have the luxury of going to like trying to aim for like 40% crit value artifacts. I could realistically only aim for like 20, 25, maybe 30 crit value artifacts and be okay with it. So I need all these specific random number generators to line up, these specific, like I said, stars to align before I could get anything going that needs to be together. And it feels kind of lousy. It feels kind of lousy that that's like the way you have to just accept the Genshin Impact experience as of right now. I do still think Genshin Impact is a fantastic game and that everybody or anybody that can find enjoyment out of it probably would. But like, that's it, you know. Beyond that, I don't know what else to say. I think that the resin system needs to be reworked for artifact domains. I think the resin system's totally fine for other aspects, like whether you want to make money or farm character experience or talent domains and at fighting world bosses. I think the talent system is actually totally fine in all those regards. But I think the talent system for the resin system for artifacts is not refined, and I think that that's what we as a community should be aiming to push. Is the discomfort in artifact grinding. And again, it's not. I do want to re-emphasize that I don't think a big change needs to be. I just think they either drop the resin system altogether for artifact domains, or rework it. Like, if you do use resin on artifacts, then you get like a higher chance of getting a higher quality artifact, or maybe allowing you to re-roll artifacts to have a different main stat, or maybe you could sacrifice a certain amount of resin, or maybe, I don't know, some other in-game currencies to re-roll a main stat to be a more appropriate main stat for your characters, or whatever it is that you're searching for. Like, I don't think it's such a bad idea to be able to re-roll. I mean, they've already implemented like the strongbox system for obtaining these, which I think is a healthy start to like assessing your artifact situation. But then now I think we should be able to re-roll the main stat as well. Either re-roll it or hard select it. However much currencies they would require us to have to do that is still, you know, I believe that they'll be able to come up with a decent solution, a fair compromise. But as of right now, I think that that's the state Genshin needs. And because that won't really like solve any of the repetitiveness of Genshin Impact. It'll just literally all it'll allow it to do is take some of the frustration out of the average player. Because, you know, I know at its root Genshin Impact is designed as a mobile game, meaning it's designed to be played for maybe 15 minutes at a time, which in itself is okay. But as it is, I could consume my resin and do my commissions within 15 minutes, and as a mobile game, I think that should be where you could comfortably end. But then I don't think that should be the hard limit for everybody, you know? Because what's really the difference? Do you understand what I'm saying? If a mobile player who's busier than somebody else, for example, has to end the game at 15 minutes because their work schedule doesn't allow them to play Genshin Impact for much longer than that, then, you know, that's just the way it is. They Genshin, you know, it's not like there's a PvP or a player versus player. It's not like there's a competitive Genshin Impact scene. All that it would allow them to do, in fact, I think those mobile players, even they will be able to benefit from having a reintroduced resin system for artifact domains, because now they would be able to, if they felt like they were ever behind in any other circumstance because of their, I don't know, lack of ability to play for whatever reason, that even they could, if they had a couple hours a week even to dedicate to just artifact farming, then they could. And they should never feel like they have to. I think it's a system that collectively we could work on together to propose change for Hoyoverse going forward, to Genshin Impact longevity. I think that's a system that we would ultimately like to see changed. And I believe that the adjustments to the system that I proposed are a fair compromise. I do not believe that it's unhealthy for the game to allow people to more easily work towards getting artifacts. It doesn't diminish the value of the work at all, because people at the end of the day still have to farm for it. It's just you could either like divvy up your time and farm it the same way we're farming it today, or you could invest a few hours into hard farming that domain to work on your perfect gear, you know? I don't think it's a bad idea. Because so long as they organize it in a way where people do not feel like they are punished if they don't do that, then it starts to become unhealthy. And that's what we would like to avoid at all costs. We don't want the game to become unhealthy
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
by forcing you to play for hours on end. I know that the Reza system in its nature is designed to alleviate that worry to begin with. But that's ultimately the price of things, right? I think it's fine in the way that it does that, but I think it could be worked up. I feel like resin should be tied to your character's progression, right? So your character's progression, I think, is like weapon related, gear related, like if for farming gems or talent books or certain material. I think those are fine ways to be designed to spend resin. I do not think that it's fine to spend resin on artifacts, because there's so much randomness involved in it that people will just settle on kind of bad artifacts and just move on from that point. You know, and then people get stuck in the process for so long. I've been a victim of this as well. You get stuck in the process of farming artifacts for so long that you start to burn out from not getting anything worth of value. I've, at some points in my career, already taken 2 different month-long breaks from Genshin Impact because I just wasn't able to keep up with the burnout. I wasn't able to diminish the burnout that I was accumulating from these artifact domain grinds that you just have to forfeit your account's resin every single day, you know? And I don't think that's a good idea. I think if they just removed resin altogether from artifact domains, and strictly artifact domains, I want to re-emphasize. These other domains, weapon ascension, talent ascensions, I'm totally fine with you keeping resin here. I'm fine with you keeping resin here. And I'm fine overall with keeping you resin on the EXP and gold ley lines. It's just artifact domains that I have a problem with. And I hope that I've emphasized that point clearly enough, because that's something that I think will add a lot of life to the game. Because again, you could just farm it if you want to. You don't ever have to. It doesn't feel like you're wasting your time if you're farming it. And then at the end of the day, even if you farm like as many artifacts as you want, if you are going to upgrade each and every one of them to try to see if they roll good, you're still going to need to keep up on your Mora. I know at the moment, spending Mora is kind of like an afterthought for most people, especially if you end up becoming a Battle Pass buyer. Mora's like hardly any concern. So long as you do a couple days of Mora ley lines a month even, you'll probably have enough Mora to do whatever it is that you need to do. Well, that's been my Genshin Impact rant for now. We don't have anything else that I could really think of adding to the conversation. But for now, I think that'll be it for the short Genshin Impact stream. And again, don't really have anything else to do. The resin's all spent. The commissions are all done. The weekly EXP is capped out, so I can't like do anything special to get more EXP. So that's it, you know? that's all I've got. So, I'm guessing I'll probably do a Maple Story stream after this. So you can look forward to that. If you are going to pop in, then, you know, I'll see you there. If not, if you're just here for Genshin Impact, then it's been a really nice stream. A short one, if that, though. And this has been Maris Rey, Water Dragon Extraordinaire, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, like the stream, ring the notification bell to see content similar to this, and follow me on Twitter, linked in the description below, to get notified anytime I'm going to go live. Okay? So, like I said, if you're going to stick around for the Maple Story stream, then hold your horses. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow. Okay?